Thank you.
Bwana asifiwe. I've been here many times. I don't know, maybe for the last 20 years I've been coming, not every year, but quite often. It's good to be back. And I'm told that we kind of are celebrating people who are finishing college. Do I get that feeling?
Yes.
And I want to ask finalists, when were you, okay, there are some that you didn't repeat many times. When were you in Standard 1? In your time, it was not called grade, it was called standard. Am I right?
Yes.
When were you Standard 1? Which year? Shout. Are you not proud? All these other people came later. So you are there a long time ago. Which year? It was 202. You can't even remember. It's so long ago, you can't remember. When were you class 1? 20? Oh, 2010. Is that agreed? It was 2010. And the Lord has taken you through 8 and 4, and now the final section is about over. Am I right?
Yes.
Shouldn't you praise the Lord? Hallelujah. All that period, you have been being prepared for the marketplace. So, you are now going to the destination called marketplace. What is a marketplace? A marketplace is a place where people exchange their skills for money. That's why it's a market. In other words, there is something, a product or a service or a skill you have, and there are people who need it. That place where that is happening is called a marketplace. So it really doesn't matter whether you go to a hospital or go to, research or whichever direction. As long as your skills are being paid for, then it is a marketplace. You can actually go to the marketplace as a Christian or a non-Christian. If you go there as a non-Christian, let me tell you 4 things that will happen. Number 1, as soon as you are there and you are a girl, all the bosses will be checking your structure. And if they like it, they'll be trying to get you for a date. I'm not communicating. And they don't want a date because they want to marry you. They want a date because they want to misuse you. Girls, are you getting my point?
Yes.
Unfortunately, when I left, I finished Form 4, 1971. When I left school, it was girls only in trouble. But things have changed. Women who are being called sponsors, as soon as they see a young, handsome guy new in the marketplace, you ask him, can I buy you a cup of tea? Obviously, you have no money, so how can you increase a cup of tea? And with the first cup of tea, the sponsorship has started. Now you think it's okay. What you don't know is that there is nothing for nothing. If you allow yourself to be bought a cup of tea, it will progress to a lunch, and then to a dinner, and then to a night out. She wonder, surely this woman, she looks like my mother. That's secondary. You ate the tea. Am I communicating? That is the market place. If you are not a Christian. Number 2, if you go as a non-Christian in the marketplace, they will soon show you here there are no rules. It's not like school, there are no exams. Lazima tule maisha. We must eat life. Unfortunately, within no time, life will start eating you. You intended to eat life, then life eats you. Because you see, Here it's not the issue of anybody attracting you. You even get people, their fellow new people in the marketplace. You want to go for a dance one time, you want to go for drink another time, within no time you are trying anything. Because you have money. And for 2010 to now is how many years? 24 years. No, sorry, 14 years. Am I getting it right? That's a long time. And now and all the time you have depended on pocket money from your parents. Now you have your own money. Your parents don't have a right to be asking you what you did with your money. It's not theirs, it is yours. And you end up as a non-Christian wanting to enjoy. I waited 14 years to do this. Many of them, non-Christians, in the marketplace, end up where the month ends before the money. So you are not given a month. You are given the money for the whole month until the next salary. Many of them, the month ends before the money. And you wonder what happened. So, can you give me a 500? Can you give me, they are borrowing. In Nairobi, they have coined a word for it. When the month goes to a corner. Mwezi uko corner. Because the money ended before the month. When they ask themselves, what did I do with the money? They have no idea. That is what it means to go to the marketplace as a non-Christian. And of course, that's not the only problem. Within no time, they started drinking when they want, so they can afford it. Within a few months, they start realizing they can't do without some alcohol. You start alcohol when you want, then you have alcohol, you start taking alcohol because you must. It's called addiction. Unfortunately, addiction is a very funny thing because some people can drink for 20 years and they don't get addicted. Others drink for a year and they are already addicted because you are chemical. You are the people who know these things. The way you are is not the way I'm made. That's why it's dangerous to take even a little, because a little to me is not a little to you. Many alcoholics had no idea they would become alcoholics. And one of the ways of knowing a guy is an alcoholic, he doesn't admit it. And it all started because the young man went to the marketplace. We are describing the life of a non-Christian in the marketplace. Thirdly, because of this freedom, you start learning how to borrow. Fuliza, ever heard of that animal? Have you ever heard of that animal? Within no time, you'll hear somebody say, "Can I send you 1,000?" Yes. Then after this, imekuliwa. Because you are full of debts. Every direction is debts. And there are many people who have worked for 20 years. They have never enjoyed their money because they earn to pay debts. By the way, it happens like our countries are around there, isn't it? Here, most of our budget is going to pay debts. That's what happens to anybody who doesn't have the spiritual discipline we are talking about. Where you are unable to live within your means. So all your salaries, in fact, the kind of debts you have, even the next 3 salaries, are already committed. And because you still want maisha, you are borrowing more, and so you are permanently in debt. The trouble is to marry such a guy. Because you, my friend, will end up, he finishes it and it's yours. And I've been married for 46 years. So that's 25. With my husband, I have spent quite a bit of time counseling couples. And that's one of the biggest problems in my sister. If you see a boy who cannot live within his means, be as far away as possible. Because if he cannot live within his means, he will be always in debt. And you know something about debt? You cannot go on your way to heaven in debt. The scripture says don't commit adultery. That's not the only thing it says. It also says do not owe man or anybody anything except the continuing debt of love. That means there's a commandment against owing people. There's another commandment against committing adultery. When people are in hell, I guess they are going to ask each other, why are you here? I don't say, I slept with so many women. And you? I had debt. Now, they'll be in the same hell, same temperature. I know you are laughing because you owe somebody. But it's important to understand owing money is a sin. Are you hearing me? Owing money. Because the scriptures have given a commandment. Don't owe anyone anything except the continuing debt of love. That does not mean you cannot take a loan. You can take a loan as long as you are able to repay. Are we together? It becomes a debt because it's outstanding. If I lend you 2,000 shillings to pay me next week, next Sunday, if you meet on Wednesday, can you run away from me? No, we are okay, we are still friends. On Sunday, if you haven't paid me, you'll sit at the back, you might sit at the front. And on Monday, if you meet, you will not pick a corner. Am I right? What has happened? You have changed from a friend to a slave in debt. Am I communicating? And that is what you are going to get if you go into the marketplace as an non-Christian. How many things have I told you? Remember, our subject is going to the marketplace as a non-Christian. And that's one of the things you know about them. Unable totally to be disciplined and follow that way. I don't want to go on, but maybe I should say one more thing, isn't it? And the reason I'm saying that is because I left university just in less than 2 years, to be 50 years since I left campus. And I have married many friends, my age mates, younger, for the last 50 years. I was the chairman of the University Christian in 1975. So I'm looking at that period. I can tell you, avoid non-Christians and sympathize with them. For non-Christians, hell doesn't come after they die. It is here now, here and now. If you decide to go to the marketplace as a non-Christian, hell already begins. Many people have ended up with HIV. And it was not their intention. They just were drunk. Then a girl who looked attractive tricked him. He slept with her only once. Do you require to sleep twice to get HIV? So you are expert in that area. Do you require to sleep twice? Only once. And then they keep saying, Brother Ghana, I only did it once. But because alcohol is the biggest contributor to HIV, alcohol is the biggest contributor because it actually affects your capacity to make decisions. And I know that because for a number of years, I used to do an international job. I used to cover 10 countries in Africa. So I was in a hotel continuously. From Mauritius, Madagascar, that region, to Djibouti, Sudan, this is my region. So you are in a hotel and you see somebody. Initially, he is seated alone. There's a funny girl on the other side. When she looks a prostitute type. He doesn't want to talk to her. All he needs is to take 3, 4, 5. By the time we brought her, she starts becoming an okay girl. Then finally you see them walk upstairs together. Now you need to understand, alcohol is the biggest contributor to HIV. And if you are not a Christian, it will be very difficult not to take alcohol because in the marketplace is the lingua franca. That's what it will do. And I'm not talking about boys alone, even girls. In fact, if you say, can I buy you alcohol? No. Are you a Christian? Because we know you are not a Christian. It will be straight for you not to take alcohol. Remember, our subject is about the marketplace. Are we together? And what will happen when you go there without Christ controlling your heart? I'd like somebody to read for me Galatians chapter 5, verse 21 and 22. Just to understand what it means. If you go out there, you go as a non-Christian. If you go out there, you go as a Christian. And what will be the difference? What kind of product will we see out of people who are not Christians compared with the Christians? Would you like to pick the mic and you have found it? Just read. Oh, you don't know where Galatians 5 is. 21, then 22. Begin from verse 19. So we here, going to the marketplace as a non-Christian, what do you expect to see out of you?
Very good. The Bible says Galatians chapter 5, verse 21 and 22.
Verse 19. Start with verse 19.
19. Now the works of the flesh are
Or the what you can see out of the non-Christian in the marketplace is, number one,
the works of the flesh are obvious. Sexual immorality.
have I been talking about sexual immorality? Yes. It's a product. Now, you know, here you have no money, you are starved, you are fearing your parents. There you are free. So, promising you, if you don't have Christ, sexual immorality is regular. And now they have found gadgets. You can't get pregnant. They even pretend you cannot get HIV because you use condoms. You know, it's a safe sex, which is a lie. There's no such a thing as safe sex. Those of you who, I'm sure you know HIV more than me, controls more than me, and they tell you use a condom. If you use a condom, the safety level is about what percentage? 90. Are we together? That means if you do it 10 times, one of them will get HIV. Am I communicating? So, and you know, let me ask you the question. If I had a gun and my son, I'm playing with my son, and the game is called Russian roulette, where you put in there 5 holes in the gun, one hole has a live bullet, the other ones are fake. Would I play a game with my own son on that one? Remember, 80% chances I can't kill you. There's only 20% chance. Can I play that game with my son? Now your own life. Now it's not your son's life, your own life. So it tells you, if you use condoms, you cannot play, the only 10% chance you get HIV. 90% you can't. But they already told you in advance. There's 10% chance. And then you sleep with people. Can you see the level of foolishness? And we are told that is the product of the works of the flesh. You can't think. You are educated, medically trained, but you are arguing like somebody. Oh, it is, I'm using condoms. It's safe sex. Surely that's for Mama Boga somewhere. Educated people should know that condoms cannot prevent HIV. They only reduce the chances. Am I communicating? So anyway, that's the first thing. The second one?
Moral impurity.
Yes.
Promiscuity.
Yes.
Sorcery. Hatred.
Oh, you hear, once you reach that level, you even start reading the stars and going to people to read your palms. Go on.
Strife, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambitions, dissensions, factions, envy, verse 21, envy, drunkenness, carousing, and...
Did I talk about drunkenness? The product.
And anything similar. I tell you about these things in advance, as I told you before, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God.
Now we'll go to the next two.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
In other words, if you go to the marketplace as a Christian, the Spirit of God controlling you, what do you expect to see? Number one?
Love.
In other words, you have no difficulty loving people. You don't love people because you want to sleep with them. You love them the way Christ loved them. You love them for their own good. There was nothing Christ was getting from us. He just loved us. Are we together? And so you have no problem with anybody. You have no enemies. There are some people who are rough, insolent, but you sympathize with them. Jesus looked at the people killing him and he said, forgive them. Why? They don't know what they are doing. That was you. He loved them, even on the cross. So when you go to the marketplace as a Christian, you have very easy time working with the crooks, working with the evil people, because you understand how to deal with them. Because you love them. Am I communicating? Number 2,
joy.
in other words, when you go out there, it doesn't matter what crises are there. You are always smiling. Your face is stuck at 2:45. Do you know the clock at 2:45? People smiling are at 1:15. Although some of you are stuck at 6 o'clock with a long face. But when the Spirit of God is in you, according to Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7, it says, He gives us peace that surpasses understanding. That means when everybody expects you to be crying, you are actually at peace and smiling. That's where you are able to deal with people at your place of work. Sometimes you have just come with a bad news. Your mother has just died. You take the matter to God. Peter says, cast all your cares upon Christ. Why? Because He cares. That's why you are at peace. That's why you enjoy. Can you imagine working with somebody like that? But that somebody is you, if you go to the marketplace as a Christian. 3,
Peace, patience.
and I've already talked about peace.
Patience.
What is patience? Patience is ability to live with the difficult people. And they're everywhere. Am I right? Hey, Paul, if you marry a guy who is like that, but you'll see your marriage can last. Because you have the ability to be patient with the foolish husband. You have patience. And it's not because you're a good girl, it's because the Spirit of God is in you. My brother, you marry some of these women, and some of them are Mama Kali, and you don't know that until she comes to your home. If you have patience, the ability to wait to see them change, the ability to understand them, as difficult as they are. Management science has come with a new word. It's called emotional intelligence. Ability to understand other people and therefore not act like them. You act with the control of your emotions. Go on.
Kindness, goodness.
What is kindness? Your customers will always ask, why is that pharmacist? No, he's not there now. I can wait. I only want to be served by so and so. Why? You are kind. And I'm sure you have dealt with people who are not kind. They tell you, have you carried your money? Let me look for it. Next. You are wasting my. What about kind people? You say, Mama, can I help you? Let me hold the bag so that you can check better. And obviously, by doing that, it speeds up the matter, isn't it? And you are not doing it because you are a good man. It's simply the Spirit of God in you gives you kindness. Am I communicating? Can you imagine a marketplace with many people like that? But that's what the Word of God is telling you to be. Next, after kindness,
goodness.
And of course, goodness is what you want from everybody. A good person, somebody who enjoys working. There are people when you are put in a team, and they are put in your team, you say, surely, can't you look for another team for him? Because you know he is not good. Have you met such people? Even in college, they are there. Am I right? I hope it's not the one sitting next to you. But it's important to understand when the Spirit of God is in you, He gives you the capacity to be good to everybody. And next,
faith.
What is faith? Ability to see possibilities. Ability to trust God before you see. When you talk about having faith in something, like now, faith that you pass exams is to believe as long as I work hard preparing for exams, the passing is in God's hands. So you're at peace. You know the trouble why people fail exams is that he does the first exam and he feels I have failed. And that actually makes her fail all the other exams. But with the faith, you trust God's ability to handle. As long as you do your part, you know He can handle. And when you are at work at peace, you don't start saying, I'll never get promotions, I'll never pass, I'll never do this. You have faith in God. Next.
Verse 23. Gentleness, self-control.
Self-control, I've talked about, isn't it? And I was talking about emotional intelligence as part of it.
Against such things, there is no law.
In other words, if you have the Spirit of God, you have nobody, you don't need anybody giving you controls. Your supervisor supervises you for 1 week, then he says nothing. I understand that because Joseph, you can see it now. Joseph, the son of Jacob, was working for Potiphar. You know that story, isn't it? And the Bible tells us, whatever was put under Joseph, Potiphar had no interest in it. He knew it was good and done. Then he was put in prison. The prison warder started saying, whatever is in Joseph's hands, I don't need to care. There's no law. No need of supervisors. You are the kind of a person who is given an assignment by a boss, and he says, this is a report. Hey, who has done it? Nganga. You just signed. He has not read. But he is sure Nganga can never give him work without with being corrected. So why waste my time? And pass it on. And he's giving it to the board because he trusts Nganga. That's what it means. There is no law. So when you become a Christian like that, you start understanding that in the marketplace, jobs will be looking for you. Because there are not too many people like that. Somebody asked, how can a Christian position himself to rise in the corporate ladder and please heaven? Simply by exhibiting the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And it's a very important thing to understand. Just listen to this so that you can see it is from the scriptures. Genesis 12 verse 3. I'll bless those who bless you. These are a man of God, Abraham, being told. And you can remove the name Abraham and put Atieno. Is there Atieno here? Is there Atieno? Yeah, so you can put Atieno there. I'll bless those who bless Atieno. And whoever curses Atieno, I will curse. That's a promise that you got the marketplace. Okay, we have put Atieno. Can we put Shukari? If your sister Sukari, put it there. I'll bless those who bless Sukari. And whoever curses Sukari, I will curse. Who is promising this? Who is saying that? Now, let's go on. He goes on to say, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. In other words, your company, your hospital, your pharmacy, wherever the business you are doing will become blessed because of your presence. When you say, let me resign, say, no. Can I double your salary? Because the guy knows the reason why his business is blessed because of the presence of Sister Sukari in the business. Because the Bible is promising all peoples, non-Christians, organizations, whatever, on earth are going to be blessed through somebody who has the faith of Abraham. So can you see it's a privilege for any organization to employ a Christian? Because God is promising blessings for the organization that employs Christians. Unfortunately, I have to admit, in many times, people pretend to be Christians and then they don't show the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And within no time, people start thinking Christians are like that. Romans chapter 2 is saying that God's name is being defamed because of you. Because you claim to be a Christian. You are being. That's why I normally encourage backsliders to announce it. Just say, I was saved when I was in school, but since last week, I decided to get backslide. Because if you continue claiming to be a Christian and you are not a Christian, you are defaming God's name. But, in fact, it reaches a level where and I was a manager for many years. When one of the managers, I heard him say, hey, if you ever hear one of your staff say they are saved, watch out. They're about to steal. It's kifunga macho. Because once you trust them, you don't even check. You trust them. By the time they leave your company, you leave you penniless. I feel so embarrassed. Because those are not Christians, are they? Are they Christians? But many people are like that. They claim to be Christians, but we are learning in the marketplace. When you stick strictly to your commitment to the Lord, and the fruit of the Spirit is seen, that organization will be blessed because of they fire you at their own cost. Because God has promised to bless that organization because you are there. And I hope that's the way you go to a new place. You get a job and you understand what you are bringing them. You are bringing them skills, your skills. You are bringing them God's blessings. And don't claim it is you. Read it from Genesis chapter 12, verse. Can you read it there? Verse 3. It's promising that when you are a child of God, He will bless the people around you because of your faith. Of course, you'll be blessed in many ways. Let me just give an example. I used to be, in the 1980s, I was a Shell manager. I used to work for Shell. And I was the Shell manager for operations in Nyanza and Western Province. There were two provinces. But my office was in Kisumu. And I still remember that there was a tender. You understand a tender, isn't it? Where the government offices were in the whole of Kisumu County, then it was called a district, were throwing a tender for petroleum products for all the vehicles of this. So it was a big tender. I was the manager of the area. I had a salesperson. The salesperson took our tender. When he took our tender, it was asked, you come from Shell? Yes. Can you ask your manager to come in person? So I had to go. I didn't think I needed to go because it's a tender, it's a paper. You have given it in. When they're opening the tender. So when I went, they told me, the chairman of the tender, who's the district commissioner, told me, your quote is not good enough. But we like you. We like you. Would like you to actually go and adjust the quotation because we want to give you business. That's a privilege, isn't it? So I came out and I was supposed to come back to tender board in the afternoon. I rang Nairobi, my bosses. They said, no, we can't do that quote. The government is slow in paying. We will not pay. I was very embarrassed. Having been given a privilege of matching whatever quote, that now I had to go and tell them in the afternoon, I'm unable to match. I was not allowed. I was not authorized. Of course, the chairman of the tender board was very unhappy. He told me to go outside. And they debated, I was called back. And when I came back, he told the tender board that I told you, John Nganga, I didn't know he knows me. But I told you I was the chairman, 1975 was the chairman of the University Christian Union. And I think he was either a year or so behind me. So, of course, he was a non-Christian, so I didn't ever see him, and the university is big. But he had seen me. Maybe he had attended one of the Sunday services or CU meetings. He told them, I have told these people, they can go to the person in the lower tender. But are they assured that they will not lose their money? As people play games with the petroleum products. But if they choose where John Nganga is, they can be assured of integrity. He told them, when we were in the university, we were running around rioting. This one would never do such a thing. Do you know he convinced them to award the tender to Shell, despite our tender being, our quotation being higher than others? 1 million of shillings. Shell got, I'm trying to explain the verse, isn't it? Shell got millions of shillings because John Nganga is born again. A lot of us kind of go into the marketplace, kind of hiding our faith. I can give you personal testimony of organizations getting business because their manager is born again. Am I communicating? Where people say, no, don't go to another hospital. That particular hospital has a laboratory technician who knows how to get blood out of you without pain. Of course, it doesn't mean you have no pain. But the way you are talking with the guy, lab people, am I right? You still must produce the blood, isn't it? But there's a way of doing it that makes somebody think you want to slaughter them. But there's am I communicating? So you need to understand what we are talking about. That when you go to the marketplace as a Christian, you attract business for those who